gets a little faded, you can use Manic Panic Love Color to refresh your hair while also conditioning at the same time. In our last video that we did showing swatches of all our different hair colors, everybody was asking a lot of questions and people really liked it, so we're going to continue this as a series. In this video, we'll show you what every love color will look like on different levels of hair. So we'll start by taking a look at Red Desire, and we recommend to use this to refresh colors like Wildfire, Rock and Roll Red, and Pillar Box Red, which is the example we're going to show in this video. On the left, we have a super faded Pillar Box Red. You've washed it a bunch of times, it's faded. In the middle, this is a faded Pillar Box Red that's been refreshed with Red Desire. And on the right, this is a brand new, fresh Pillar Box Red. When your hair is freshly dyed with Pillar Box Red, it's gonna look like the swatch on the right. When it starts to fade, it obviously is gonna get much lighter. So to avoid that, throughout your hair dyeing life, use a little bit of Red Desire to keep it looking more like this until you're ready to really dye it again. And Rock Me Red is recommended to refresh some of our darker reds, including Infrared, Red Passion, Vampire's Kiss, and Vampire Red. Fan favorite. I personally used this color for years. I wish that I had Love Color at the time to keep it maintained. So here on the left is Vampire Red on bleached hair that is very faded. And we've used Rock Me Red to refresh it in the middle here. Here they are side by side. This is a really close match for Vampire Red. It's a little bit dark, it's a little bit blue. And if you remember in our last video, Vampire Red is one of those colors that's so dark, you don't necessarily need to bleach your hair to platinum to get a similar result. So that begs the question, what about Love Color on unbleached hair? Let's compare Red Desire and Rock Me Red. All of these swatches are on platinum blonde, medium brown, and darker brown. And here we have Red Desire, and this is Rock Me Red. So we don't really recommend that you use Love Color to dye your hair. I mean, you definitely can, as you see here. This will put pigment in your hair. It's mostly hair conditioner, so it's not as much pigment, but a color like a red is definitely going to stain your hair, but it won't necessarily stay as bright as long as if you actually dyed your hair. Maybe there's some reason you prefer that. You just want to try it out over summer break, or you don't want grandma to yell at you over Christmas. Whatever it is, we put Love Color over different levels of hair so that you can see. So let's compare Red Desire and Rock Me Red on Platinum Blonde. Rock Me Red is much darker, it's a little more blue, and Red Desire is a bit more orange. But reds really do have a tendency to stain the hair, so keep that in mind if you're really concerned about grandma yelling at you. But even on the darker base, you can see that it will put in a little bit of color. And apologies, I've used a pomade on these hair swatches so that they're not flying around. That's why it looks a little bit greasy. But you can really see there's definitely redness, and it's a really pretty color. And here are all the swatches one by one so you can see the before and after comparisons. Pink Passion is used to refresh some of our lighter pinks, like Cleo Rose and Cotton Candy Pink, which is the example that we'll use in this video. This is a very faded Cotton Candy Pink on a bleach blonde hair. And in the middle, this is Cotton Candy Pink refreshed with Pink Passion. On the right, we have Cotton Candy Pink when it's freshly dyed. Since Pink Passion is meant to refresh several pinks, it won't be exactly the same as Cotton Candy Pink, but if you want it to be a little bit closer, you can always get creative. You can dilute it with hair conditioner, you can dilute it with water, or just rinse it, not leave it on as long. Mix it with another love color if you want. All of the love colors are intermixable. And we use Fuchsia Fever to refresh some of our darker pinks, including Fuchsia Shock, Hot Hot Pink, and Pink Warrior. On the left, this is a very faded Pink Warrior. On the right, we have the hair freshly dyed with Pink Warrior. And when it's fresh, it's quite dark. So the faded Pink Warrior dyed with Fuchsia Fever is a bit more fluorescent. Something cool too is that Fuchsia Fever also glows under black light, and so do many of the other love colors. So if you have a shade that glows in black light, using the love color won't stop you from glowing. But what I'd love to illustrate here is that This is the faded Pink Warrior on the left, the refreshed Pink Warrior in the middle, and then straight Fuchsia Fever on the right. The refreshed Pink Warrior is the darkest one because you've put a color over another color. So it almost seems obvious to say, but just keep that in mind. It's going to multiply whatever color you're putting on top. So quickly comparing Pink Passion and Fuchsia Fever, swatched on the Platinum Blonde, Medium Brown, and Darker Brown. This is Pink Passion, and here we have Fuchsia Fever. Like the reds, the pinks are really pigmented and it will stain some of the hair. Here's the difference between Pink Passion and Fuchsia Fever. Fuchsia Fever is much darker than Pink Passion and a bit more purple. And when you add Pink Passion or Fuchsia Fever over the medium brown, it does make a really pretty color. Comparing on the dark brown with Pink Passion in the middle and Fuchsia Fever on the right, you can see there is pigment added. The hair is a little pinker, warmer. It will change color. It's subtle, but it's definitely a change from the base color. And this will fade faster than dyeing your hair since it's mostly conditioner. Here's what Pink Passion looks like on Platinum Blonde, Medium Brown, and Dark Brown close up. And here's Fuchsia Fever on the Platinum Blonde, Medium Brown, and Dark Brown. Now we'll go through all of the swatches. And we recommend Orange Crush to refresh our orange colors like Electric Tiger Lily and Psychedelic Sunset. On the left, we have a faded Psychedelic Sunset. On the right is a freshly dyed Psychedelic Sunset. And in the middle is the faded Psychedelic Sunset that's been refreshed with Orange Crush. Up close, you can really see how faded it is on the left, and it's so much brighter when it's been refreshed with Orange Crush. But the color of Orange Crush itself is a little more like orange juice. Psychedelic Sunset is naturally a little bit more of a red. It's a really cute in-between color. And of course, like I've said, it depends how faded your hair is as well. Let's take a look at Orange Crush on 3 different levels of hair: the Platinum Blonde, Medium Brown, and Darker Brown. The color itself is really bright, kind of an orange juice or like Sunny D. It's very cute. It does take pretty well on the Medium Brown. You can sort of see it on the dark swatch, but looking closer at the before and afters, you'll see the difference. Yellow Heart Love Color refreshes our yellow hair dyes like Electric Banana and Sunshine. On the left, we have a faded Sunshine, and on the right is a freshly dyed, brand new Sunshine hair swatch. In the middle is the faded Sunshine that's been refreshed with Yellow Heart. It's definitely more like a neon highlighter color than Sunshine, which is more like a buttercup yellow. Over our neutral base colors, you can really see how yellow and pigmented Yellow Heart is. It does make the medium brown quite a bit warmer, but you're basically not going to see any difference on a darker hair. Next, we'll talk about Green Venus, which is a perfect match for Electric Lizard. On the left, we have a very faded Electric Lizard, and on the right is the freshly dyed Electric Lizard. In the middle is the faded Electric Lizard that's been refreshed with Green Venus. Putting a color over another color, your results are going to be a little bit darker, so just keep that in mind. Forest Nymph Green is used to refresh our darker greens like Venus Envy and Green Envy. On the left here is a very faded Green Envy. On the right is the fresh Green Envy. And in the middle is the faded Green Envy that's been refreshed with Forest Nymph Green. So quickly, let's compare Green Venus and Forest Nymph Green on the Platinum Blonde, Medium Brown, and Dark Brown. Here's Green Venus, and here is Forest Nymph Green. Right off the bat, you can tell that the colors are different. Green Venus is a neon, and Forest Nymph Green is darker. It's more blue. They both look great on the Medium Brown. On the Dark Brown, the Green Venus doesn't show up that much, but let's take a closer look in the light. Here's the darker brown swatch close up with Green Venus in the middle and Forest Nymph Green on the right. You can see that the Green Venus is slightly different. It's taken out a bit of the red from the original swatch. but Forest Nymph green looks pretty great. It's like a dark bluish green. And here's all the before and afters so you can see the differences. Teal Temptress is for refreshing our dark bluish greenish colors like Voodoo Blue and Enchanted Forest. On the left we have a very faded Enchanted Forest, and on the right is the freshly dyed Enchanted Forest. In the middle is the faded Enchanted Forest that's been refreshed with Teal Temptress. Teal Temptress definitely has more blue in it, but please consider how faded your hair is and also how much Teal Temptress you apply and how you apply it. We recommend Blue Valentine to refresh our darker blues like Rockabilly Blue, Blue Moon, and Shocking Blue. On the left, we have a very faded Shocking Blue, and on the right is the fresh, brand new Shocking Blue. In the middle is the faded Shocking Blue that's been refreshed with Blue Valentine. You can see the faded one is super duper faded, like a powder blue at this point, but blue does stain the hair, and Blue Valentine will as well. Blue Valentine itself is a little more turquoise, but I sound like a broken record. It really depends how faded your hair is and how you're applying it, what results you're going to get. Let's compare Blue Valentine and Teal Temptress on unbleached hair. On the left, here's the base colors. Here we have Blue Valentine, and on the right is Teal Temptress. So immediately you can see Teal Temptress is more of a sea green, and Blue Valentine is a true blue. But both of them, when placed on the medium brown, become kind of greenish because it's just basic color theory, right? You put blue and yellow together, it makes green. So that's what we're seeing here, and just something to keep in mind if you'd like to try these on unbleached hair. Here's a close-up to show the difference between Blue Valentine and Teal Temptress on Platinum Blonde. Blue Valentine and Teal Temptress over the medium brown. Over the dark brown, you can see these colors are super pigmented. It's still going to show up pretty noticeably over a darker color. Now let's go through our before and afters. Use Purple Rose to refresh colors like Deep Purple Dream, Electric Amethyst, and Purple Haze. On the left is a very faded Purple Haze, and on the right is the freshly dyed Purple Haze. In the middle is the faded Purple Haze that's been refreshed with Purple Rose. Purple Rose is a slightly warmer purple, and Purple Haze is a little bit more blue, but they're a very close match. It's also going to depend, of course, how faded your hair is. This is an incredibly faded hair swatch that we used. On the left, we have our base colors, and on the right is Purple Rose on these different levels of hair. On the medium brown, Purple Rose really takes, and it's this beautiful warm purple. On the dark brown, it does become more of a reddish purple, but it's pretty subtle. This really shows how much of a difference the base color can make on what your final result will be. So a few final tips on how you can apply Love Color to achieve some different looks. For regular, really easy maintenance, you can just use it as a wash through wet hair. Not leave it on super long, just put it on and wash it out almost immediately. Or you can wet the hair first and then apply the Love Color in a more controlled way. If you do this, we recommend that you let it sit for about 5 minutes. That's all you really need for the color to saturate your hair. Finally, you could apply it to dry hair. This is going to make it even brighter, more pigmented. It will last slightly longer, not fade as fast. You still only need to leave it for about 5 minutes before washing it out. And here's our results. All of these swatches were platinum blonde. On the left is the wash of color on wet hair. It's very light. In the middle, applied to wet hair, and on the right, applied to the dry hair. Thank you so much for watching. All of these love colors are available online and in select stores. And if there's anything else that you'd like to see, or if you have any questions about these colors, feel free to leave a comment, and please subscribe for more fun and educational content from Manic Panic.